Everybody, sorry I'm just a minute late here. Let me send an invite off to Bobby, and then we will be off to the races, so to speak. What's that? Okay, 1 second. Just one last thing. And then this. Okay. Let's see. We got some stuff going on. First of all, yeah, we're doing all right with our chalk monster lineup, I guess. We're still pounding away at these with these Rockies, with these whatchamacallits, with these Padres. Not so much on DraftKings. DraftKings were scraping the bottom of the cash line over there because Singer got knocked out, but still got a couple of swipes. So I got both Colorado and San Diego over there. And then I got a couple of swipes here with, everybody's got these guys, but still, it's good to pile up the points. But Male was certainly the MVP of the evening, of the afternoon so far, with 61 fantasy points in only 6 innings. So 12 Ks, 2 walks, 1 win, 61, and only 27%. That was the hero of the morning. So we got a lot going on. Hey,
what's up, man?
So this is what the chalk Padre game is supposed to look like, I guess. So I'm cashing in this monster, but along with everybody else. But Male was obviously the big one. Getting Male in was the that put you ahead of everybody. Not everybody, but 27% owned instead of what the other guys might have been. So, got a couple more swipes out of these Padre dudes, and maybe I'll grab a couple more spots. I don't know. Can't really gain too much when everybody else has these guys. That's the problem with chalk. But we'll take it. DraftKings, I was mentioning, not quite as fortunate, and ready to deal with. I'm playing all 4 slates in the sports tonight. I'm playing actually all 5. I'm playing NBA main. I'm playing both sets of showdowns, and I'm playing the MLB. So we could and everything is posted, by the way, as of now on TrueDFS. All sheets for all things. The only thing I would caution is I don't have the Clippers starting lineup yet. So all of my numbers are totally not done with that knowledge. So and I'm probably not going to have time to update them before the game starts. So as much of a disclaimer as I could put on there, it could, so you might end up getting a projection on a guy who doesn't start, and then you'd have to correct it on your own. So just figure out, throw that out there. What do you got for MLB?
Place as you, but I'm right barely on the borderline cash bubble. And I used the A's and all my other ones. I might win the $33, but it's only $1,000 for first. I played 2 lineups and I pivoted over there. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do good on FanDuel, probably not so good on DraftKings, it looks like.
Okay.
I did stack the A's a little bit, and then I sort of came off of it more, which really is a shame because it would have put me in a pretty great spot. But I also had Brady Singer everywhere on DraftKings. That kind of killed me there. But my A's, I played Laureano, I played Olsen, was having a good game. There's a lot of guys and they're still Anyway, but yeah, let's get into it. I actually just realized that Wilmer Flores is not in the lineup today, and as you know, I like the Giants, and he was a cheap guy I was using on FanDuel quite a bit, including in my main lineup, just in case he did make the lineup, but he's not today. So I'm going to remove him and probably end up with Odor, the other chalky second baseman.
I also like to say, by the way, that and you know, Bob, you know this now better than anybody, is that so there was this contest early this season where between Empire Maker and Osimo, like they like pit a lineups up against one another or whatever it is. Empire Maker said, "Well, challenge all you DFS touts or whatever it is," and not until I really started to get involved in the site that I realized like what an edge somebody like Empire Maker has. Because it's like so hard to like focus on your play when you're also focusing on the content.
Right.
It's so much work. I mean, it really, I mean, you know, and look, I'm happy to do it. I'm having fun doing it, but I mean, it definitely am not putting as much effort into the play as I would otherwise. So that's a big edge.
Yep.
If you're competing against like people that are dedicated to promote content, and so funny, like when some people are like, well, why you listen to this guy? He doesn't really win as much as this guy does. I really feel as though like probably the best content provider is going to be the one that doesn't play. that really just gives up all of his play just to like provide content.
Right.
But that's probably unlikely. So I already built all my lineups. Where are you in with respect to your, if you don't mind? I mean, where are you right now in your DraftKings exposures?
So I did end up with right now. I currently have 100% DeGrom. I'm going to change one of those, but I do have DeGrom like everywhere right now.
I got a hundo of him also.
Yeah, on FanDuel I don't. I'm using Kershaw in my main lineup, as I said earlier.
Nice.
It actually did. Today is the first day where if you want certain bats, like you really did need to. I mean, well, not the first day, but it's the first day on a short slate where on FanDuel where I've really had to compromise some things against my original what I wanted to do. But I'm doing the same thing I talked about earlier: Houston, San Francisco, New York, and Toronto one-offs. That's pretty much where I'm at on this slate.
My top players look like Braves. You got, I mean, first of all, and I don't know if we stressed this, but you got Abraham Almonte hitting fourth at 2,300.
Yeah, I know. Well, I stressed that earlier, but he wasn't supposed to be hitting fourth.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And that kind of, you know, makes the whole thing kind of hum. So that's my main jam, so to speak, is the Braves. Just pretty heavily overweight on pretty much everybody in that game. On that side, for me pitching, I'm biting. I'm gonna be the chumpo. I'm taking the Bailey Ober.
I'm doing it in my main lineup as well.
Okay. I'm taking the Bailey Ober as 40% him. I got 20% Cole. This is DraftKings. 10% Kershaw, 27% Greinke, and a tiny little sliver of Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, I didn't play enough lineups to get to the Wheeler, but I like the Wheeler and Kershaw plays. But I just didn't quite have enough lineups to get to him, I guess. Yeah. And I still am going to stress that I really like the Giants today. This is not the most fun thing in the world to do always, but I do like the Giants. Kelly can get wild, and I just think that this is a spot where I want to take advantage. Anyway,
now let me look at FanDuel because I can pull that up actually. On FanDuel, God forbid it tells you what your percentages are. Because I'm not. You know what? They did this weird update on FanDuel, where you had to like authenticate yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
And now I can't get onto FanDuel from check this out from Chrome, unless I like clear my whole cache.
That's so weird, man.
Which I really don't feel like doing. I'm like,
yeah, that sounds terrible.
And so I'm logged in as on my other browser on Edge, and Edge I don't have the RotoGrinders plugin, so I can't really tell who what my percentages are. Oh, I did notice I got a guy that's not starting, so I got to deal with that. So I had Mike Tauchman in some lineups,
Oh yeah,
so I got to deal with that. What time does that game start? Not for a while, right? Yeah,
yeah.
it's San Francisco. Okay, so I can deal with that a little bit later.
You might want to get it before lock because there's some good 707 stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny because I love the Yankees, but I still have more Astros and Braves with that over combination, you know.
Yeah.
And just mixing it around a little bit. It's just sort of where I ended up on this slate. I do like the Giants also. They're in a lot of my secondary lineups. I guess you can call it. Yeah. So and I have like some Teoscar one-offs, some Vlad one-offs, and some Bichette one-offs.
Let me rebuild this without Tauchman and see see if it just rebuilds for me, or see if I get a different like 2K one off there. Let's see what happens. Because he's only.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. Because I have him in as just a one off, so I wonder if it just rebuilds for me, or if I just get plugged in another 2K one off. I wonder what's going to happen.
That's weird.
And on FanDuel, unlike you, I got 100 of DeGrom there.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't. Man, it doesn't look like I got a lot of difference on FanDuel as opposed to DraftKings. I got the same dudes. I got all these Braves.
Yeah, I hear you. I have on FanDuel. I hear you, but I went the other way. I'm Yankees and Giants over there mostly.
Yeah. So let's edit this then.
Crawford Belt.
After I do that, I'm going to come in and get some questions.
Yeah, I do have an unhealthy amount of Brandon Belt today. Really.
What's that?
I have an unhealthy amount of Brandon Belt today.
Oh yeah.
Quite a bit of them. See how it goes.
Well, you got some time to worry about sweating them. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, DeScalfani is the guy at the end of the day. We might go, oh, why didn't we just use him more or something like that? I mean, he's the one I think that makes the most sense for that. I also think Greinke has that possibility too.
What that?
Well, like sort of an obvious seeming like pivot play, and that we're not using it. That I'm not using enough of. That's the guy I'm afraid of. I guess not having.
That would be who? Greinke, you said? No.
No, DeScalfani.
Oh, okay.
I do have Greinke, but I don't have that much Tyler Anderson in the end. I have a little bit, but not very much.
Ian Anderson?
Ian Anderson, excuse me.
I know you like Tyler Anderson too sometimes.
I do. Well, I like not usually not to pick on him, although yesterday would have been a good day to do it because he went kind of nutty. All right, let's see how that looks. That's fine to me. And I don't think you need to fully stack tonight. I'll just say that again.
You want to know why? Because it's a day ending in Y. Avi is Mr. non-stack all the time.
I mean, look, dude, it's. I mean, the guy who won the tournament last night, I believe it was last night. Certainly, the terrible scoring night too. The guy had literally 8 players from different games. Yep. In not just the lottery, and in the 555 as well, which I just thought was wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just should open your eyes. There are plenty of ways to do that, and considering how few people actually do it, when it actually works, you should probably, it's probably worth paying attention to.
Yeah, it's just hard.
Yeah,
it's just hard to know who's going to get this the solo home run, right?
It did. That's the tough part. It's so crazy that the price matters enough to me where I keep having to use Stanton and leaving money on the table. I'm sorry, not Stanton instead of Judge on FanDuel. Like the 200 really matters that much to me. And I have exactly one Garrett Cole lineup. I don't think I'm Mr. Garrett Cole, by the way. Look, Sheets, we saw it again earlier today. I'm telling you, if one more pitcher goes out with Singer, with a mysterious strain of some sort, I'm going to be like, I'm starting to really wonder about this thing and how big it really was, because it's happened to what if we had 9 starting pitchers in the last 3 days have this happen? It's crazy. And including some aces too. Anyway, All right, I'm done with that part of it. But all right, let's see. Let's look at some things. Do I have Ross Stripling's K prop? Is he playable to get some of the more expensive bats? I'm not playing him. I'm not going to do it, but I did consider him for one moment. His K prop I can give you if you give me 1 second. Yeah, I would just rather play Ober personally. I like the Yankees tonight. I do. I think that there's an argument though. If I'm going to play Ober, why wouldn't I play Stripling, who's actually a decent real life pitcher? You know what I mean? Like that. But it's you're playing a pitcher at Coors Field. You have to realize that. Just remember that it may be 65 degrees. It's still Coors Field. And so Stripling's K prop. What the hell? God, it's moving really slow for me right now.
Dude, and meanwhile, with the Colorado and the San Diego, with the chalk this and chalk that, the leadoff hitter from Colorado went off at 3% on FanDuel.
Stripling is 4.5%. Sorry, 4.5 strikeouts. What, Tapia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played him on DraftKings, not on FanDuel.
I know he's not a power guy, but 3%. You know.
Well, everybody I had was like 3% though. So we're all the A's guy. I mean, look, you have the A's in a good spot, and they're. I mean,
no, but that's fine. The A's guy, whatever. But like the people, you know, I talked about this. Well, you talked about this when I said, "Oh, this Colorado San Diego is just so freaking chalky. It's a bad slate." You're like, just don't take the freaking highest owned guys from that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I did like the other pivot. I mean, the A's. If you played the A's, you're in great shape anyway. You know what I mean?
And what about the White Sox? You like the White Sox too?
That's true. I know. I just didn't play enough lineups, I guess. So 4.5 K prop. That's really low, obviously. Everyone's sleeping on Cole. I don't care who he's facing, and it could be the highest scoring pitcher. Of course, he could be the highest scoring pitcher on the slate, but it's not like everyone's sleeping on him either. He's projected to be 44% owned on DraftKings. That's not a low percentage. He's actually the most popular player on the slate, so I don't.
This is kind of unfair. I mean, like the guy who's in first in the Monster is exactly one player from the White Sox game.
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, I guess.
There's enough spread around. It really doesn't matter the game. People always think that. You don't try and get the team that scores the most runs. You try and get the team that can hit the most home runs. On FanDuel, usually you want the team with the most runs, but not always.
This is surprising, though. The Nats, Pittsburgh is 1-0.
I know.
That's surprising.
Just terrible. So I just want to answer a few more questions. DeScalfani, yes, I think he is a viable SP2. I'm playing Greinke over DeScalfani, but I think they're really close. People are playing Cole, guys. What are you guys talking about? People not on FanDuel, maybe they're not playing him as much, but that's because you've got DeGrom right there. But people are playing Cole. I'm getting called names again. Cole is going to be 5%. Yeah, you can absolutely play Cole. I have Cole on FanDuel. I don't have him on DraftKings. How about that? I'm looking like it could be the. I have Cole. I have Cole and Kershaw as my pitchers on FanDuel.
I have Cole on DraftKings, 33% ownership. So he's not going to be unowned.
Yeah, but he's talking about on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
And I do think that there is completely you can make an argument for trying to play him in Coors, but I have him projected at 20% on FanDuel, not 5%. He's projected to be the second highest owned pitcher on both sites, so I don't know where no one's going to play him thing is coming from. I don't think he'll necessarily be 20%. I think he'll probably be more like 15%.
I have him at 24%
on FanDuel. Then he's probably going to be 20% or higher.
I got him at 24%, and then I have DeGrom at 46.
You guys go ahead and please like and subscribe and all that stuff if you haven't already. And you guys can go ahead and play Cole and get him at the second highest ownership, or even if he ends up the third highest owned player. It's not like we're talking about a crazy difference between he and DeGrom here. And you have the team that strikes out the second fewest in the major leagues, with the most power in playing in Coors Field, basically.
I'll tell you who's going to be really high owned is Paul George. He's going to be really high.
We can talk about some basketball too. Yeah. If there's any more baseball,
we got one more swipe coming out of Tatis.
That's not really a swipe though. I don't think anybody left doesn't have him. Oh, they could have had Story, I guess.
No, one more swipe. You know what I mean? It's hey, but I have him, so I mean, I don't care how many anybody else has him if I have him, right? I mean,
well, you can't move anywhere though. I'm saying. You're not going to move up.
One spot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It'll make any difference. I'm the one who's really hanging on. I'm literally 0.2 above the cash line on in the monster.
On FanDuel?
2.5 on FanDuel, and then I've got 187, 186.
What do you need on FanDuel? Like, who do you have?
Matt Olson and the normal guys for something happened. No, I should be in much better position. No, I'm not in much. What am I? Yeah, I'm 3.5 points up. I have a Fam. Tatis, Matt Olson.
Hold on, I got the Oakland game up on the other side.
Yeah, let's put that thing in. All right, you guys, this guy is an absolute a troll, so we're gonna ban him too.
I'm not watching, but I just trust you.
Yeah. So goodbye, Julius.
Which national team do win the U.S. and the Copa American football out of that?
It's a good question, though.
I will say, by the way, that Julius Peppers, his intentions were poor, but he does make a good point, which I do want to stress.
Of course, we don't know the exact ownership. I gave a range. I gave a bunch of different numbers. I just said
that's what I'm saying, and that's why I really try to stress the fact that these are just projections. Does not mean exactly. And there's actually one site that it actually just tilts me a little bit. That I sometimes watch, and I like these guys, but at 10 in the morning, they have in their content. They're like, well, they say it like this: Nikola Jokic is going to be 23.2% owned. I'm like, what? How can you say that? You could say that, we project him to be 23. You can't say he's going to be 23% owned or 28% of the field is going to play him. You just can't say that. Right. So yeah. So yeah, nobody knows exactly anything.
Absolutely true. And there could be still things that happen in the next 36 minutes that even affect us, like lineups coming out of places. There's a lot of things that can happen, but I don't think it's going to matter much today.
I will say this, Frank. I can tell you one thing that that I can tell you for sure. Maybe not Frank, but I can tell you for sure that Julius Peppers is a 100% chance he's going to get banned. I mean, that is going to be exact ownership. I mean, that I can promise you. I know for sure that he will not be in this Discord under that name. And then when we charge for it, then he's definitely not going to be around. And if he does charge, if he does pay and get in, we're going to ban him anyway. Thank you. And Frank, by the way, if I don't know if you saw, I did a video on this when I talked about how to use my sheets for baseball. You're 100% right with that. Baseball is the worst. I mean, the less projections are not as predictive in baseball as it's probably the weakest and the worst. That's 100% right.
That's totally true.
Yep, 100%.
But you guys are saying it. The funny part is we didn't say an exact percentage. You guys said 5%.
Okay, here we go.
Here we
go. No. JJ, I am totally into this question. All right. So he wants a hot PGA take. I am totally
going. I already gave mine. It's too hot though. It's a little hot for me even. And that's that Tommy Fleetwood will win the Masters. The U.S. Open. Maybe he'll win the Masters too.
That is very. That's a good take.
I think I'm going to switch off of Ober in my main lineup. By the way,
switch off Ober.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and I actually like the. I don't feel as good about that umpire. It's kind of worrying me a little bit, to be honest with you. And just having a bad umpire for a guy like that is going to be tough. I don't suggest that. I'm not doing it everywhere, but I'm doing it in my main lineup. So maybe I'm a wimp, but that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not a wimp, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that I'm so excited, Bobby, when we get to turn off the Discord to all the clowns. What can we do that soon? We got to change the link and only make it available seriously to people who are subscribers.
There you go. We're going to do that. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate the actual questions, JJ. It's good of you. Brooks and Bryson hate each other and will play a sudden death and extra holes. That would be certainly the best TV. I'll tell you who would love that. It would be the PGA Tour. You want to talk about an excited group? If you get Brooks and Bryce out there on day 4, that would be pretty awesome.
See, I'm like pretty visual, and I'm looking at my thing. I'm trying to find like a good, really, really low owned play, and you know who's real? You know who's played really, really well all year? There's a guy who's played really, really well all year. He's in the 8K range. I only mentioned him like 2 seconds, and he's made me a good amount of money before, and he almost made me a lot of money one time, and maybe had like 1 or 2 bad rounds in the last couple of weeks, but maybe not. He doesn't need to win for you to hit the optimal with this guy. At under 10% for real, I think that I'm going to play Corey Connors.
Yeah, it did seem like everybody came so far off of him, so I kind of like that idea a little bit. I right now only have 10% of them, but I'm open to getting some more.
Yeah, I just think playing Shane Lowry is a really bad play. That's my, I don't know, it's a hot take, but
you definitely stayed consistent on it, whatever, hot or not.
Yeah,
it certainly appears to be a reflection of how you actually feel.
I mean, that's a bad play, and I think Louis Oosthuizen's a bad play. I think Kokrak's.
Why do you think Oosthuizen's such a bad play? A lot of people I really like Oosthuizen, who I respect a lot, I should say.
I get it. He's just, I just don't want to play a guy that high owned in this tournament. Unless he really stands out for me, like I'll play Rahm,
Right.
I'll even play Finau, but I don't know.
Maybe we should be.
The guy who confuses me is Hoffman. That's the guy who confuses me.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what. This lineup Zach Wheeler gets to face tonight is not the Dodgers' best of the best. It's pretty friendly.
Christian, yeah, we do MMA stuff. Bobby really doesn't, but I play it, and we have numbers up there on that. I love the MMA DFS. I'd love it.
I've never had anybody say that I have zero instinct before, so I appreciate that, Grandma Jenkins. I've never once had someone say I play off of projections. I am not a projection guy.
Telling you, in a way, Bobby and Eric are like the odd couple. You know what I mean?
I love Jay. Yeah, we are. We're totally that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dumpster picks below 6,500. I have some at 6,500. Well, I have one at 6,500, which is Troy Merritt. Who else do I have down there?
Okay, you want one? Can it be 6,500? Brendan Steele.
Oh, Brendan Steele. I actually have 20% of Brendan Steele. Sorry, no. 15%. I think Brendan Steele is a really good play.
You know who we haven't played in a while? I mean, this might be too tough of a tournament for him, but he's literally going to be – I have him at 0.2 – I'll say it the way you guys want. He's going to be exactly 0.27% owned. How about like Sam the discount man, Sam Ryder at 6,400?
Interesting. All right. I can get behind that.
Yeah, that'll be it'll be whatever.
It'll be whatever. Any baseball stuff, guys, definitely drop in. 2, 9, Galvis.
One thing that's kind of cool, Grandma Jenkins, is that typically the typical narrative is that the old people are just more old school instincts, and the younger guys are just more like analytical and don't know the sport and don't know whatever. They say that I'm old, which is why I just use the spreadsheets. That's actually very interesting. What is this here? Yeah, Singer did get injured. Yeah, Bobby was kind of talking about that a little bit.
That was annoying.
So, what do you think is going to happen with this? I mean, it's impossible to tell, but who do you think? Do we have any more color on the Clipper game with who's starting? You think or no?
They'll probably wait. I mean, they haven't announced it yet that I've seen.
Excuse me, sir. I moved up to 12th somehow. What happened? Maybe did they do a stat correction on Yabba Dabba Doo here? Maybe I don't know.
500.
Let's get you a good at bat in Oakland.
JJJ, I like the theory of that completely. I'm totally with you on trying to do this, something like that, leaving money on the table. Although, you know, it's not as, yeah, I mean, anything you can do to get different, but like the truth is, I've seen the two guys win the millionaire in the last the last 4 or 5 that didn't have that had only one golfer. One guy had one golfer at 9%, and the other guy had a golfer at 11%. Was his lowest owned, and they ended up winning. So they did leave money on the table, though. Maybe so that could speak to.
And meanwhile, this Colorado game is now 7-7 in the 9th. So that means this could be like extra innings in this game. Holy crap! Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, so wait, so this is this is top 9. So you're dead with Oakland.
Yeah, I'm done with Oakland.
Oh, I thought you'd get another swipe.
No, I just want the games to end. I don't care. I'm not going to cash for them. Neither is anybody else really, unless they have some weird Padres that get another chance. I think.
Right. Okay.
There's not that many weird Padres.
So are you in there? Are you in the money or not?
Right now I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, yeah, you want the game to end, absolutely. Did I sneak in? There's no way I snuck into DraftKings, but let's see anyway. Oh, now I'm in the other browser. Let's see. Did I sneak in there? Nope, did not sneak in there.
Yeah, Rondo, JH is a good question. I've heard more and more speculation about this throughout the day, and I think there is a chance that Rondo does play some, but I also think there's a good chance he plays 5 minutes. I think there's a reasonable chance he plays 24, and I think there's a reasonable chance he plays 0. To be honest, actually, it's hard to get a feel for what they're going to do, and what the early game flow would dictate. You know, it's going to a lot depend on how the first 5-7 minutes go.
All right, so this is respect, right? So this is what I like in the monster or whatever on DraftKings. Guys in first right now use Molly and Scooble. That's respect. I like that.
That's nothing crazy about that, though.
I wouldn't have done it.
Why? I mean, I don't think that was like a ballsy play at all.
I don't know. I didn't like Scooble. Okay, I wouldn't. I was going to play either Giolito or the other one.
What was Scooble owned in the end?
23%.
Yeah, so I mean, he was pretty popular. I can't. I mean, he put up like 25 or more in like 6 out of 7 starts or something.
Okay. Yeah, I would have had at least probably one of Giolito or Peralta, and if not, it would be like I wouldn't have had it in me to do Molly Scooble, but that's why he's in first, and I'm not in the money, I guess.
Wait, what are you not in the money in?
In the DraftKings.
Oh, yeah. There's one player I have in a lot of my lineups on DraftKings that has not been announced yet because I needed to save that much at catcher, and it's Stephen Vogt.
Stephen Vogt.
I don't even know if he's making the lineup.
All right, so the Oakland game is finished. So everybody hopefully got their win bonus. Whoever had the winning pitcher, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, this could be an interesting anti-sweat here. I might actually not be a lock to be in the money here. I'm in 14th here, which 168. What random Padre is gonna get us? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm not sweating this as much as you are. I'm just annoyed by it personally.
Yeah, I'm still in that mode where I'm really just kind of into the min cash when I have nothing else to think about.
To worry about. Yeah, I got you. I would just rather the game end so I can guarantee my min sweat.
Right. Well, yeah, I just want to kind of for it to end so they could pay me, so we could just use that money again.
There you go.
All right, NBA.
Let's talk NBA.
Who do you got? I'll tell you. You want me to tell you what I got? I'll tell you.
Go ahead. You can start off with it. I'll jump in.
So again, same thing. This has been really, really working for me. I'm just saying, playing 20 lineups, putting them in the putting nothing in the big one, and just flailing away, and it's just been working. So we'll continue doing that. So we're gonna search by classic. All right, so I got 100 of a couple.
Let's talk DraftKings and then FanDuel specifically.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about DraftKings.
Yeah, perfect.
So I got 100 of a bunch. Actually, I got 100 of Mitchell. I got 100 of George. I got 100 of Morris. Those are my hundreds.
Yeah, I have Batum in there as well.
You got 100 Batum?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, right now I've got 100 of everybody basically because I'm just picking things out. I'm still.
I'll tell you what I have very little of. How about that?
Go ahead.
I only have 25% of Embiid.
Are people really like what? We can't rely on these NBA projections at all, right? Like to me, you have to play Beverly. You have to try and play one of these minimum cost guys, whether it's Zubac, Beverly, Mann, or Rondo. I really think
I currently have 70 of Zubac.
That's what everybody ended up doing, huh? The Zubac thing.
I guess.
I'm not buying any of these ownership projections at all. There's no way that nobody's over 3% of these Clippers guys, as far as I can see. Well, I've got a Capella Gobert lineup so I can't have a Zubac there.
Yeah, I got a Capella Zubac.
But I think that Embiid just absolutely smashes from the beginning of this game. The more even hurt. I mean, I'm sorry he's hurt, but like I think he smashes anyway. And I think you're mostly stacking up that Clipper game. I'm just going to see real quick. Where do they ended up on? I mean, you got to imagine that the next guys would be. Where's Mitchell? Mitchell's going to be, what, 40%-ish? Yeah, I would imagine that. And then we'd imagine, where do we have Joe Ingles? There we go. So no one's going to play Joe Ingles for real? Yeah, get real. Get real with the projections. No interest in these projections at all. I am not buying Joe Ingles at 3% ownership. The truth is, the only reason you don't need to play the minimum cost guys is because you can easily avoid it. If you play a few spots, is fairly somewhat different even. Elimination game, Clippers go down with Zubac. Maybe.
No choice. It's not an elimination game anyway, right?
What do you mean?
Isn't it 2-2?
Oh, I'm sorry, not an elimination game. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. I completely got lost for a minute. It's interesting that Korkmaz was 70% owned is now not going to be nearly as popular.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, right?
Yeah, but like it's not like hard to get him to make a lineup that makes a lot of sense with him in it. I think anyway. I mean, like Beverly. So, for example, in the last two games that they've won both of them, he's played 20 and 16 minutes, and he played 21 in game 2 after they had a rough performance on the stretch in game 1. So now he's projected to play the same amount of minutes. That doesn't seem right to me exactly. Also, then we have Mann, who has played. Let's see, what did he play in the last game? He ended up at 15, played 22 the game before that, and he's projected to play roughly the same amount of minutes to split the difference between those. So I just don't see somebody's going to end up getting more of the run. It's going to be one of Mann. It could be two of them: Mann, Beverly, and the obvious one, Kennard. What about 5 Clippers in the lineup? What does that do for you?
How about 5 Clippers in the lineup with no Paul George?
That's an interesting way to go. 6 Clippers in the lineup. Will they let me do it?
Oh, by the way, the Colorado game is over. Colorado won on the bottom of the ninth.
Oh, hopefully.
I got 16th.
Uh-oh. Something happened then.
Yeah, Story and Blackman combined for the winning run.
Are you kidding me? Give me a break if this isn't. I'm still cashing barely.
They got you? No, they didn't get you?
No. 28th right now, so that's good enough just to barely. I'm 0.4 above the line.
Oh, shit. That's nothing else. No one gets the win.
Yeah. All right. Unless there's a thing that's missing or something.
Yeah, look at you. You're right there. Look at you, you dog. Look at this.
Seriously. Finally, I get a little on my side this time. Jeez. It's been rough, as you would say. Rough business. So what if I only play Embiid in the – will they let me do this? Ingles, Jackson. Yeah, that's only 5.
Let's double check my upcoming lineups. Make sure I got everybody that's playing, that's supposed to be playing.
Like the 5 guys I'm playing are the 5 guys who should get the minutes on their team. And like all of those guys who are projected around 20 minutes, one of them is going to get 28 or 30 to 32 or more. So that's my try to get in on this thing.
Boston, got some Boston, Baltimore. Do you have any DeGrom Cole lineups?
DeGrom and Wheeler and DeGrom and Kershaw.
Okay. I have a DeGrom Kershaw with the Braves, with some Braves. Baltimore's making my shit go, actually. Baltimore, I'm getting, I mean, maybe just as a one-off, whatever it is. I like Pedro Severino at under 3K.
I mean, there's a bunch of guys under 3K you're going to want to play. If you play any of them, you probably want to play. You want to play Jeffers for sure.
Yeah, I don't have any of him. I got
because you got stuck looking at the who was playing right now, and now the projection people were projecting him batting 8th for some reason when he only bats 5th against every lefty. So
right.
So he's batting 5th. That's who you want to play, I think.
I'm using Kevon Smith in my Braves stacks. Some of them, at least.
Yeah.
So I do have to look for a couple of lineups. So I do have like one secondary Arizona lineup stack, so I have to watch that. But I imagine the guys that I have are going to play. I mean, Ahmed, Marte, and Peralta. I mean, I presume they're going to play.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that I have a couple of mini Philly stacks, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, I got a couple of DK lineups with some money left on the table.
Good for you. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I like this Wheeler thing.
Guys been like you said, guys been bringing the gas. Look,
it's always terrible to take a pitcher against the Dodgers, but like, I'm gonna do it. Can't help myself.
Embiid will have over 40 fantasy points before halftime. It could be.
I agree with that.
Be careful with that. That might end that usually leads to 52 for the game.
Yeah, that's what happened last time. Exactly. Boy, can you believe he was 4 for 20 in a playoff game? Like, I mean, there's something wrong. There was clearly something wrong with him. He wasn't moving well, but like, he still had a million rebounds. He had 22. What do you have? 22 rebounds? Like, he's moving well enough to get all those rebounds.
Oh, wait a minute. So 6:36 p.m. I didn't see this. Did you comment on what Kyle said? He said Terrence Mann is getting the start, and they said that Rondo will be getting time.
Did we actually have that as? Is it a quote?
Kyle said this. Just said it on ESPN. I can't imagine him making it up. Yeah.
No. I don't think he's making it up. That's not what I was saying. Jeez, please don't jump to that stuff because that's what.
No, what I'm saying is some people I would.
That's not what I was saying though, and he knows that's all I was trying to say.
Some people, if they said that, I would say they're making it up. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think Kyle was making it up. I think Kyle was,
Yeah, but it's not making it up. It's about the source you hear it from. And did he say it? He said it on ESPN. I didn't see him say that. He said ESPN?
Yeah.
Okay. They said, I mean, was it speculation on ESPN or was it Talking Heads or was it, because I have no official lineup from them yet. And that's kind of relevant.
And Larry, you bring up a very, very valid point, and it's just part of the risk of doing business, I guess. DeGrom, there's always risk of getting DeGrommed. There just always is. About getting a hangnail, whatever it is, and that's going to be it. And that's just the piece that I've made with that. And yep. Then I can pretend that if it weren't for that part of the risk, he'd be even more owned. How about that? Any weather? No weather issues?
Nope.
Okay. The good thing about if DeGrom, just has a hangnail and gets taken out of the game. The good thing is I'll have NBA lineups.
That's true.
Yeah. So
there's going to be a huge overlay in this third. I'm not playing the 3180, but it's a 3180 with 74 out of 100 entries.
I was going to ask if you were going to sneak in there somehow.
No. It's been a really bad week and a half after a really good few weeks. So
Gotcha.
I'm not crazy. I like to play the upswing.
Yep.
Shit, man. Well, let's see. At least my thing cashed today. I can feel a little bit okay about that. It will at least be a profitable morning.
Yep. So far, this is good. Yep. And we'll take that. Building up the excess U.S. Open bankroll.
Wait, do you guys have zero concern about DeGrom's elbows if he feels anything? Yeah, we're saying all that stuff. Of course, it's something to be concerned about. But right now, he just had that thing and he pitched 6 innings. And if they're going to let him go back out, I'm going to trust them in that. Again, I'm not using him as my main pitcher on FanDuel, but the fact that you're getting lower ownership because of the speculation is. I mean, we've seen him go out and pitch a 1-hitter with 15 strikeouts when there was the exact same speculation. And that night he ended up like 10% owned or 8% owned or something.
In the $10 on there are 2 milli makers on DraftKings. The $10 one, they are 258,000 entries out of 296,000 opened. So that's worth keeping an eye on. Mm-hmm. Make sure you get in there. The $100 milli maker, that's got 25,000. That's got 16,000 out of 25,000. That's just. I don't even know if that fills. That'll fill, right?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a couple of those.
I did take a DeGrom out of a couple just because I moved over to some Wheeler stuff.
Okay.
I actually like the Wheeler DeGrom combination, but we're gonna speculate on DeGrom and take a different angle. May as well go with like Wheeler Cole or Wheeler Kershaw, even though they're the same game, or even Wheeler Anderson.
They have let me see. Do they have? I mean, why are there 3 innings remaining in some of these baseball games?
Because they still don't count it as being
the Washington game, right? Okay.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, it's bottom 8, 3-1.
Ugh.
But
man, you got me celebrating too soon over here. Jeez.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Any more questions? I'll tell you what, guys. I've had a very, very long day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get out of here. Any more questions?
Doesn't look like it at the moment. This guy is just another guy complaining about ownership things. But anyway, we're going to probably have to get out of here anyway. So I'm good with that. If there's any NBA hot questions or anything, guys, hit me up in Discord. I'll be there all night. And I appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And hopefully we were helpful. At least you know what we're doing. Hopefully it works for all of us. And somebody take down a winner tonight.
Sounds good.